Welcome to this journey into one of the most mysterious and enduring wellness practices ever passed down through human history. What if aging was not simply a one-way road? What if vitality, clarity, and strength were not lost with time, but merely forgotten? For thousands of years, hidden high in the Himalayas, Tibetan monks practiced a simple daily ritual believed to slow aging, restore energy, and awaken the body's natural vitality. These movements are known today as the 5 Tibetan rites, often called the Fountain of Youth. At first glance they look simple, almost too simple. But beneath these movements lies a profound system that connects movement, breath, the nervous system, and the endocrine glands, which modern science now recognizes as key regulators of metabolism, stress, hormones, and biological aging. According to ancient Tibetan teachings, the human body contains spinning energy centers, often compared to chakras, each linked to major endocrine glands such as the pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, and reproductive glands. When these energy centers spin smoothly and in harmony, life energy flows freely, and the body remains strong, resilient, and youthful. When they slow down or fall out of balance, through stress, inactivity, shallow breathing, or emotional tension, the body begins to age faster. The 5 Tibetan rites were designed to restore that balance. In 1985, these practices were introduced to the Western world through the book Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. Since then, millions of people, yoga practitioners, athletes, therapists, and everyday individuals have reported remarkable benefits. Media group, diverse people practicing yoga or stretching at home, close-up of flexible person touching toes, smiling senior waking up refreshed, person meditating peacefully, therapist working with client on breathing exercises, distribute equally, reduced joint pain, improved flexibility, deeper sleep, calmer emotions, sharper focus, and a renewed sense of vitality that goes far beyond physical fitness. Let's explore how each rite works. The first rite is a controlled clockwise spin performed while standing with arms extended. This movement stimulates the vestibular system, the part of the inner ear responsible for balance and spatial orientation. At first, dizziness is normal. Over time, the nervous system adapts, balance improves, and blood flow to the brain increases. Energetically, this spin is believed to wake up the energy centers like jump-starting a dormant engine. Practitioners begin with just 3 rotations and gradually increase to 21, always guided by calm nasal breathing. After stopping, standing still, and grounding yourself allows the nervous system to reset, often leaving a surprising sense of clarity and lightness. The second rite is performed lying on the back, lifting both legs and head together while inhaling, then lowering them slowly while exhaling. This movement deeply engages the abdominal core and increases circulation to the pelvic and digestive organs. Ancient systems associate this area with foundational life energy, the source of physical strength and endurance. When combined with slow, deep breathing, this rite gently massages internal organs, supports digestion, and helps release stagnant energy caused by prolonged sitting and inactivity. Many practitioners report feeling lighter, more centered, and mentally sharper after just a few days. In the third rite, you kneel upright, gently arching the spine and opening the chest on the inhale, then rounding forward on the exhale. This movement expands the lungs, improves posture, and releases tension stored in the shoulders and neck. Emotionally, opening the chest is associated with releasing stress and cultivating calm confidence. Modern science supports this effect. Chest-opening movements stimulate receptors in the lungs that signal the brain to reduce stress responses, lowering cortisol levels and calming the nervous system. This rite often brings a deep sense of emotional release and mental ease. The fourth rite involves lifting the hips from a seated position, creating a straight line from shoulders to knees, or more advanced variations using full body support. This movement strengthens the arms, core, and spine while improving circulation and bone density. It also activates the body's central energy of willpower and confidence. Over time, this rite helps stabilize the spine, reduce back discomfort, and maintain muscular strength as the body ages. The fifth rite flows between downward-facing and upward-facing positions, synchronized with the breath. This wave-like motion stretches the spine, opens the chest, decompresses the back, and increases blood flow to the brain. Studies show that inverted and flowing movements like these can significantly improve focus, memory, and mental energy. Energetically, this rite is said to reconnect the body from head to feet, bringing balance between grounding and expansion. After completing the 5 rites, practitioners rest in complete stillness, allowing the body and nervous system to integrate the effects. This deep relaxation shifts the brain into a calm alpha state, where cellular repair and mental recovery are enhanced. It is here that the true rejuvenation occurs. Traditionally, each rite is performed 21 times daily, but for beginners it's best to start with just 3 repetitions and increase gradually each week. The key here is not perfection, but consistency, awareness, and breath. Listen to your body, move gently, let the breath lead. When practiced regularly, these rites are not merely exercise, they become a moving meditation, a daily conversation between your body and mind, because youth, is not measured by years, but by the energy you cultivate each day. If you found this knowledge valuable, remember to support the video, and continue exploring the ancient wisdom that helps us live stronger, calmer, and more alive. Aging does not begin with wrinkles. It begins quietly, inside the cells, in the nervous system, and in the way the body responds to stress. Modern science now agrees on one thing: chronic stress, hormonal imbalance, and low cellular energy are among the strongest drivers of accelerated aging. What makes the 5 Tibetan rites remarkable is not their mystical origin, but how precisely they address these 3 factors at once. When the body moves rhythmically with deep, controlled breathing, it sends powerful signals to the nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for repair, digestion, and regeneration, becomes dominant. This alone, honestly, can dramatically slow biological aging. Each Tibetan rite is designed to stimulate neuroendocrine communication, the constant dialogue between the brain, glands, and organs. When this communication is disrupted, hormones fluctuate, inflammation rises, sleep quality drops, and the body remains locked in survival mode. The rites gently reverse this process. Let's look deeper. The spinning motion of the first rite challenges balance and spatial orientation. This forces the brain to recalibrate, strengthening neural pathways associated with coordination and awareness. Over time, this improves neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and renew itself, which is one of the strongest predictors of cognitive longevity. The second rite, involving leg and head lifts, compresses and releases the abdominal cavity in a rhythmic pattern. This movement stimulates circulation to the digestive organs and reproductive system, but more importantly, it activates the vagus nerve, a critical pathway that connects the brain to the heart, lungs, and gut. A healthy vagus nerve lowers inflammation, stabilizes mood, improves digestion, and enhances immune function. In many ways, it acts as a biological brake on aging. The third rite opens the chest and throat, areas closely linked to breathing patterns and emotional regulation. Poor posture and shallow breathing are common in modern life, and they silently reduce oxygen delivery to tissues. Over time, this creates cellular fatigue. By reversing this posture and restoring full lung expansion, the body receives more oxygen, mitochondria function more efficiently, and energy production improves at the cellular level. Mitochondria are often called the power plants of the cell. As we age, mitochondrial efficiency declines. Practices that increase oxygenation and reduce oxidative stress, like the Tibetan rites, help preserve mitochondrial health, which directly influences how young or old the body behaves. The fourth rite builds integrated strength through the arms, core, and spine. Unlike isolated muscle exercises, this movement teaches the body to function as a single connected system. This improves proprioception, the body's internal sense of position, which tends to decline with age and is strongly linked to falls, injuries, and loss of independence. The fifth rite flows the spine through extension and inversion. This is especially important because the spine houses the spinal cord, the main highway of communication between the brain and body. Gentle spinal movements enhance cerebrospinal fluid circulation, nourishing the nervous system and supporting long-term neurological health. But the real power of the Tibetan rites does not come from the movements alone. It comes from consistency. Small daily signals tell the body whether it should repair or decay. When these movements are practiced regularly, especially in the morning or at sunset, they become a biological message that says, "This body is alive, adaptable, and worth maintaining. Over time, practitioners often notice changes that go beyond flexibility or strength: deeper, more restorative sleep, steadier emotions, improved focus and memory, and a sense of grounded energy throughout the day. This is not reversal of time, it is alignment with the body's natural rhythm of renewal. Aging becomes slower, not because the body fights time, but because it is no longer confused by constant stress signals, and that is where true longevity begins. Knowing the movements is not enough. The transformation happens when the 5 Tibetan rites become a ritual, not a workout. A ritual has intention. A ritual trains the nervous system to expect safety, rhythm, and presence. The Tibetan monks did not perform these rites to look younger. They practiced them to maintain harmony between body, breath, and awareness. Youthfulness was simply the side effect. To begin, timing matters, but not in a rigid way. Early morning and sunset are ideal because the nervous system naturally shifts states during these transitions. Practicing at these times amplifies the calming and balancing effects of the movements. Breath is the second key. Each movement should be guided by slow nasal breathing. Inhaling gently expands the body. Exhaling softly releases tension. This pattern trains the brain to associate movement with relaxation instead of strain. When the breath leads, the muscles follow naturally. Repetition is the third principle. Traditional teachings suggest working up to 21 repetitions per rite, but more important than the number is daily repetition over months and years. The body responds far more to frequency than intensity. 3 mindful repetitions done every day will create more change than 20 rushed ones done occasionally. The fourth element is awareness. While performing the rites, attention should rest inside the body. Sensations, balance, breath, and subtle shifts in energy are all signals that the nervous system is learning to self-regulate again. This is why many people describe the practice as moving meditation. After the movements, stillness is essential. Lying quietly allows the nervous system to absorb the signals it has just received. In this state, the brain often shifts into alpha waves, a frequency associated with learning, creativity, and cellular repair. This is when integration happens. Over weeks of consistent practice, subtle changes begin to compound. Energy becomes more stable, recovery from stress happens faster, emotional reactions soften, the body feels more cooperative, less resistant. Over months, posture improves, joint stiffness decreases, and sleep becomes deeper. Over years, practitioners often notice something difficult to measure, but easy to recognize: they age differently. Not by resisting time, but by staying adaptable within it. This practice does not promise immortality. It offers something far more realistic and valuable: graceful vitality. A body that remains capable, a mind that stays clear, a nervous system that knows how to return to balance, and perhaps the most important effect of all, a renewed relationship with the body. Instead of seeing it as something that slowly breaks down, you begin to experience it as something that constantly responds to care. If this perspective resonates with you, take a moment to support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts or experiences, and follow along for more content exploring ancient wisdom through a modern lens. Your engagement helps this knowledge reach those who need it most, and keeps this space alive for deeper learning and healthier living.